welcome to the 7th episode of Talking Point with me, your new host, Papri Dash. Our guest today is known for his association with multiple brands, be it technology, broadcast media, or real estate. Each brand he has represented, he has added a new identity to it. And now he has ventured e-commerce as the Chief Marketing Officer of Housing.com. Prateek Sheel. Welcome, Prateek.
Thank you.
You've been associated with Samsung, you have been associated with Micromax and Star as well, and now you're with Housing. These are different spheres. So when you are switching from one sphere to another, how challenging is it? Or is it even a challenge?
Every new assignment is always a challenge, but having said that, I always wanted to be category agnostic, and I personally believe that it's the same consumer. It's just that the mindset changes with each category. The consumption mindset changes. So that's the only challenge I always I face. And learning a category, its nuances, do's and don'ts is always a challenge for the first 6 months. After that, it's interesting. And what's life without a challenge?
And what about now you're with Housing? So how's the team? It's young, fresh. So what's it like? What's a day like in Housing.com?
It's 10x exciting because of the sheer fact that the average age in this organization is about 26, 27. So there is that the enthusiasm that youth brings in. All at the same time, there's a balance of seasoned professionals who bring in that experience onto the board, experience and expertise. And most people in their 40s also have that enthusiasm, energy, curiosity of a 20-something.
Like you said, Housing.com, there's a lot of youngsters and the energy, the vibe, everything is very young, fresh. There must be a lot of people who look up to you and come to you for advice. What do you say to them then?
The audience of consumers in this country is getting younger day by day. Who'd know the consumer better than the consumer themselves? And I'd say a 20-something would know far better about the consumer than probably a geriatric who's close to 40. So a lot of times I also reach out and take advices and suggestions from them. Advice. I hate that word.
So is it true in terms of Housing.com as well that the consumer is very fresh and new, that it is 20-something and 30-something who are actually going to the site and looking for a house? Like usually at that kind of time people are struggling or buying house.
So two things needs to be considered. First of all, internet as a medium, okay, and as a platform has a younger skew. You'll find technology challenges as you get into the older segment. Number two is that as a brand, what is the current product offering? We provide solutions from PGs, hostels, rentals, to all the way up to the new projects, which are new homes, to luxury, which is obviously talking to a slightly older demographic. So the offering basically talking to the entire gamut, and having a younger skew obviously helps because of being an e-commerce/m-commerce platform.
Okay. So like you said, you do not like advice. So I'm guessing that...
I didn't say I don't like advice. I hate the word advice.
You hate the word advice.
Yeah.
But when you're starting off your career, has there been any people who have given you those right suggestions? Any role model or inspirational person you look up to?
I've learned from many different people, and I'd not be able to single out one person and say that, okay, fine, this person has been my mentor or a godfather. But I've considered every person who worked with me, may that be my reporting manager or the person reporting to me or my colleague. Most of them have had a good word or two to say, and I've learned from that. Learned from my or other verticals doings, what have they done, what have they executed well, and I've also learned from others' mistakes and my mistakes as well. So I'd say is that the biggest mentor for me has been experience, if you want to personify him as a human being.
you're a student of chemistry. You graduated with chemistry as your faculty. So from there to marketing, branding, how did that happen? It's a huge switch.
So I did my college in Calcutta. So I was in this college called St. Xavier's. It's if anyone who's familiar with Calcutta would know that it's on Park Street, and that's also that used to be the hotbed for most advertising creative people. So those days the hottest agency used to be this agency called Clarion. I doubt whether that exists anymore, but yeah. Some real legendary people, including someone like Satyajit Ray, used to work there. I remember there was this TVC by Ericsson Mobile for one black coffee, please. And that was like really some stuff that those days Gilby was doing for Fevicol. So things like that basically made me get attracted towards advertising, communication, so to speak. So I wanted to get into advertising, and it was like a good Bengali boy. There was a huge amount of pressure on academics. So I finished my graduation in chemistry. Then I enrolled into MSc as well, into biochemistry. My parents, my grandparents, they all wanted me to finish my MSc, go to US, do my postdoctoral studies, do a PhD, get into research, etc., etc. And not my cup of tea, and I dropped out from MSc and basically got into advertising. I'd not say that I ran away to Delhi, but yeah, of course I'd taken a vacation to go to Delhi for a job. I landed up in a very smallish agency. There was a gentleman called Sudhir Lal, advertising legend in the Delhi circuit. I learned a lot for the first couple of years. So one of my first assignments was Delhi Metro. So basically create the entire identity, logo, mascot, the look and feel, etc. In hindsight, when I look back and I look at that work and I cringe, but yeah, I was really proud of it, and I still am. That's why I'm.
Can you share what it was? What was the campaign? I'm sure you.
It was a typical government client. That was 1998. Mindset was very contemporary for the consumers. The brands were basically some of the leading brands were actually stretching the consumer expectation. The Sarkari clients were still stuck in the 1960s.
Staying in Delhi, starting off your career there, what were the challenges? Something which is unique to you.
Yeah, there were two things that was there. Of course, one was more functional. I mean, you land up in a city, start staying in a one bedroom setup. You land up eating outside. You land up eating junk and land up falling sick. So one of the things I made sure that even if it's jam butter or a jam butter bread, I'd eat at home. What's more important is that hailing from Calcutta, timid Bengali boy, and I'll just learn that Delhi is an aggressive city, and justifiably so. You have to be aggressive. You have to ensure that things happen much faster, and you have to be aggressive both professionally and personally to make things happen and get things done and survive. Not just survive, thrive. Aggression, not in a negative way, but overall in a positive way. That was the greatest learning, and I've always carried it forward.
It took you how long to catch up to Delhi's aggression?
So the realization took me about a couple of months. Took me another 3 months. I'd say that in 6 months I was up and running.
You have so many things you have to take care of, and it's on your mind when you're working and off work as well. You cannot really switch it off, right? And you have such a young daughter who wants your attention at this point of time. So how do you manage that? How do you balance that?
So with my wife, she understands. Of course, she was a professional. She's taken a sabbatical for our daughter. If I were to say I've managed to balance my working life, personal life, I'd be lying. None of us have, and maybe if someone has, I would like to take the person's advice, quote unquote, because that's one place I'd like to take some advice. More often than not, when you land up in an organization which is building a brand right from scratch, you also have to build a marketing team. So initial days you'll have to work. You'll probably have to multiple hats. You'll have to put in that 18-20 hours sometimes. Okay, till about the time you create create teams.
Yeah.
You basically build up a team who could take in responsibilities for the
Right.
various verticals. You'll have to multiple hat, and that time you really ignore your family, and that's something that I hate about myself.
So you mentioned that how in your generation you felt that academics was the prime focus, and being a father, how are you going to make sure that you're not going to do the same mistake that probably the earlier generation
I
did?
think education is overrated. Yes, I really don't care. I mean, when I look at my brother is about 16 years younger than me. So he
16
was
years younger than you.
so he got about 97% in his boards. He was straight A's in his A levels. He decided to get into graphic animation. Deep down I was a little taken aback. I thought maybe he'll get into economics or he'll get into something far more fancier. When he got into graphic animation, when I look back and I see that people with offbeat career are far more successful than people doing traditional so-called safe safe careers. I mean, if I were to see my batchmates who've taken non-traditional careers are doing far better in life. And I'm not talking about economically. I'm talking both. I'm also
Peace of
talking about
mind.
peace of mind. They're financially better off. They have far better job satisfaction because they've chased their passion and they're doing far better. And than people who got into this thing. I think education is overrated.
So Micromax, Star TV, Housing.com now. I know you have mentioned in earlier interviews that you like building brands from a scratch. But have you ever thought of having a brand of your own? If you can do it for another brand, why not for yourself? Why not create and own a brand of your own?
If I decide to invest my time and energy into building a brand, that brand is my own. I always align to it. I always abide by it. I always use Vodafone for that matter. Always use Micromax for that matter. So if I invest my emotion and time into a brand, it's my own brand. Having said that, what you're talking about is basically having a brand which maybe a startup kind of a thing. So right now, I think my addiction is all about creating brands. I don't know. Maybe in the future, when I want to evolve and graduate into building businesses, probably I'll think of it. But building your own brand is not necessary. You build an organization. You build your own business.
Yeah.
Brand becomes a subset to that
Entire
process.
business.
So when I graduate into building businesses, maybe I'll contemplate. But right now, as an aside, I think most bongs are risk averse, and we have great employees, not so much as entrepreneurs. I don't know, something to do with our DNA, the way we are mentally hardwired. I don't know.
Well, that's it for now.
Thank you.
Yes.
Great. Thank you.